So, who wants to read through a notice with me? This notice is a notice of trespass by the legislature on the people's right to bear arms. I, one of the people of the 50 American states, as seen in the Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, sui juris, Republican in form, am serving you this notice so that you and your agents, as trustees and servants of the people, provide immediate due care. Please take notice that the people hold all authority and power over government, and that as servants and trustees of the people, you and your agents swore to uphold the constitutions of the states and the United States of America for the protection and security of the people's inherent rights reserved to the people and declared off limits from government regulation. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Equality and Inherent Rights. All people are born equally free and independent and have certain inherent rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted by the people, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Who's the governed? Not the people. It is the people who want to voluntarily serve in government. Those are the ones who consent to be governed by the public trust. Maxims of law. All political power is inherent in the people by decree of God. Thus, none can exist except it be derived from them. Maxim of law. The main object of government is the protection and preservation of personal rights, property, and public liberties, and upholding the laws of God. Nowhere does it say there through regulation. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 4, text of Section 28, goes through the oath of office and how they have to subscribe an oath and affirmation to support the Constitution and carry out their duties. Maxim of law, punishment is due if the words of an oath be false. So they can't swear to an oath and then not uphold it, right? Because they swore that they were going to carry this out. And then maxims of law, an oath is indivisible. It cannot be held partly true or partly false. So they swore the oath. It's not halfsies. It's the full deal. They swore. They already agreed to it. They need to abide by it. Please take notice that the people recognize that the legislature has unlawfully written statutes to regulate the inherent rights of the people to bear arms. Any laws that require an application for a license or permit to purchase, to open or conceal carry, to hunt for food, for the protection and security of oneself or state, or any other lawful purpose are repugnant to the Constitution. There is no grant of authority given to government to regulate the people's inherent rights. It's just not there. All laws that are created by the enactment of the legislature are to be in pursuance to the Constitution and not take away from what is expressly written therein. Any laws that go against the public trust are null and void and cannot be made valid by subsequent acts. The Wisconsin and United States Constitutions are clear. The right to bear arms cannot be infringed. Nowhere in these provisions does it say the people have the right to bear arms through government regulations to have the right. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, text of 25 says the right to keep and bear arms. The people have the right to keep and bear arms for security, defense, hunting, recreation, or any other lawful purpose. Period. There is no anything about regulating. It doesn't say if you have a license or if we tell you you can. It's just not there. United States Constitution, text of Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of the free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Meaning, we have the right, don't touch it, you can't regulate it. It's off freaking limits. Maxims of law. The people have a right to bear arms for the defense of themselves and the state. Miranda v. Arizona, where rights secured by the constitutions are involved, there could be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them. Maxim of law. When the form is not observed, it is inferred that the act is annulled. So all these things that they're trying to pull in the legislature are already annulled. They're void. They cannot be brought into anything. Maxim of law. The government is to be subject to the law, for the law makes the government. Please take further notice that the people also recognize that the legislature wrote an invalid amendment as Article 1, Section 26 is not in pursuance to Article 1, Section 25 of the Wisconsin Constitution, and therefore is null and void, as no amendment can be made that is not in pursuance to the original instrument, and the original Article 1, Section 25 amendment stands. Now wait till you see what they did here. It's crazy because they wrote two amendments. One that just says you have the right, and then later on, they tried to make another amendment to say, but we can regulate you. It's ridiculous. The government is at all times subject to the Constitution and shall only act within the grants and limitations of what the people expressly granted in the public trust. All rights reserved by the people are not subject to regulation, and any act by those in government to regulate the people are acting outside their offices and are unofficial acts to which there is no immunity for wrong done to the people. See evidence below. So here's what they did. Wisconsin Constitution, Section 25 says, like I said earlier, the right to keep and bear arms. And it said to keep and bear arms for security, defense, hunting, recreation, or any other lawful purpose. And that was it. That's a valid. But here's the invalid one. Wisconsin Constitution Article 126 says, the people have the right to fish, hunt, trap, and take game subject only to reasonable restrictions as prescribed by law. Really? We're going to try that, really? An amendment to the original instrument is not a repeal. Fundamental principles are not annulled by amendment. This is a maxim of law. Maxim of law, individual liberties are antecedent to all government, comes before. The maxims of law, repugnant act cannot be brought into being. It cannot be made effectual. Maxim of law, the law is not to be violated by those in government. Trump v. United States, so we made sure to put that in there because there's no immunity for unofficial acts. That's not just the president, that's anybody who's sitting in office. Please take final notice that it is the wish, order, and demand of the people that you, first, give a written and public statement telling the people that government has been unlawfully regulating the people's right to bear arms through license and permit requirements. 2, repeal and dissolve all unlawful statutes as they are null and void and go against the people's right to bear arms. Number 3, dissolve Article 1, Section 26 of the Wisconsin Constitution as it is null and void. 4, hold accountable all those that unlawfully go after the people that are exercising their right to bear arms without regulation. It's as simple as that. If you believe that the claims in this notice are untrue and that you believe that you as a trustee of the people have the right to regulate and infringe on the rights of the people to bear arms, you must respond via affidavit point by point showing you have the constitutional grant of authority to trespass the people. If you fail to show clear grants of constitutional authority, then your actions are trespassing against the people with full knowledge, intent, and malice. And the only recourse for remedy is what is demanded and prescribed to you above. The people can and ought to redress their grievances for their individual rights being trespassed. Any man or woman who decides to suppress this notice agrees to pay $30,000 per infraction, and any dispute by any public official or private actor who is bound by contract to the Wisconsin Constitution agrees to have these matters heard before an arbiter of my choice and to be bound thereby. All responses must be made via sworn affidavit under penalty of perjury, point by point, within 7 business days of receiving this notice. Or you agree by tacit acquiesce that all statements in this notice to be truth and fact. Further, you agree that you are acting with full knowledge, malice, and intent by trespassing against the people, and that no court shall be able to rehear this matter, but stand as evidence, truth, and fact in all truth and fact and law in all courts of record. This notice is sent to you in the peace and love of Jesus Christ so that you may provide due care to those who have all political power, the people. This is going to Wisconsin, guys, but you could totally do this for your states too. I just had to share because this is some of the stuff I've been working on. I'm absolutely sick and dang tired of them trespassing the rights of the people and then going after them for exercising their rights. I'm done with it. It's not going to continue. I'm done.